Yo, welcome in, man. Today is Saturday, November the 30th, last day of November, man. We'll be right into December. We only got I think it's 5 games on the board for today, so we're gonna jump right into it. Yesterday, just a quick recap for myself, and then we'll go through a couple of the comments. Yesterday, I gave out 5 official plays yesterday. On the show, I gave out one best bet. That was a winner. LeBron James under his 9.5 assists. He only finished with 6. So that was a pretty easy winner. I also took the Knicks early in the day, took them live in the third quarter. They get smoked, barely even win the game. Win the game outright by 1 point to a LaMelo-less Charlotte Hornets. So that was a loser. I was also on the under between the Pelicans and the Memphis Grizzlies. That was a winner. I took 2 dogs. I took the Toronto Raptors. They get smoked in the third quarter, lose the third quarter by 23 points. I think it was something like 38-15. And Bam hits a 3 late in the game, and they end up not covering. The other dog was the Los Angeles Clippers. They almost win the game outright. Just poor time management, but +7 was, I think we got a +7. That was good money. So overall, another profitable day. I think I've won something like 14 out of my last 19 bets. So we slowly but surely getting all the money back that we lost at the beginning of the season. Let's jump into a couple of the comments real quick and see how we can get paid today. We'll transition right into that. Just get to my screen real quick and let's go through a couple of the comments. What up, prestigious prodigies? It's my guy, ChrisBeCappinn, top of the morning. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving. Right back at you, bro. I hope all is well with you. You had a great Thanksgiving with you and the fam. What up, Mark? Says, good morning, everyone. Let's hit the like button on the way in. Appreciate that. GLB Bet says, morning, everyone. Let's cash them today. We need it. OJ says, top of the morning, Chris. What's up, Tasha? What up, LJ? He says, top of the morning, Chris. Detroit first quarter, Bucks first half. Let's get it today. Okay. Yeah, I'm interested in talking that Detroit game out. I want to hear what you got to say a little bit more about that. Hopefully you can stick around, LJ. What's up, Tasha? Says, likes Warriors on the money line today. My guy Justin in here as well. People already looking at the card. What up, Peasies? Top of the morning, gang. Knicks played awful yesterday. Yeah, you can't get too much awful. The Kings are on the shelf, man. I want the King. I'm sorry. The Knicks are on the shelf for me. I'm looking at the Kings right now. They're on the shelf too, but the Knicks are on the shelf to me until they're a dog. I want nothing to do with the Knicks anymore. I listened to Josh Hart post-game interview. Just real quick, I listened to Josh Hart post-game interview yesterday. He was saying, like, the goal is to win a championship, man. We don't care. He was talking about Mikal Bridges and how bad he's been playing. He was kind of defending him. He was just saying, like, the goal is to win a championship, man. Like, we don't care about nothing else. And that lets me know all I need to know. Like, y'all gonna play around with the Hornets even if they don't have LaMelo. So cool with me. I don't think they're gonna put belt to ass that often. We'll just say that. But really, really frustrated with the Knicks yesterday. But it is what it is. It is what it is. What up, Jalen? Says, hope everybody made some money yesterday. We made a little bit of profit. Says he likes the Hawks team total over today. What up, Lightbearer? And Tyler in here as well, saying good morning to everyone. What's up, bro? Hope all is well with you. Let's jump into it for today, man. jaXon. Always talk about jaXon. jaXon, actually, I didn't know this until yesterday because I'm learning new stuff about jaXon, same way you guys are every single day. jaXon actually handicaps college basketball as well. I had no idea. But if you're part of the Discord, you know that I've been talking a lot about, trying to transition and get my foot in the door over at just in NCAA basketball in general. I would love to be able to handicap the women's side of it, the men's side of it. And it's just a lot more games, a lot less injuries. Like I don't know, man. So long story short, I'm on jaXon yesterday and I'm like, let me just try something out real quick. So I'm trying to get the handicap for the Duke game yesterday. I think they was playing against some team I had never even heard of before. And I'm like, what's the best bet or ATS or total between Duke and the other team? And it was like, take the points. It said 27.5 is too many points for Duke to be laying. This other team has been covering, especially playing against ranked teams. Duke got a look ahead spot. I was like, oh shit, this sounds like my analysis for the game. And Duke covered. They were laying 27.5. I think they won the game by 22 yesterday. So that was a winner. I didn't even hail it. But but jaXon can do all of that and more, man. It can tell you why, you know, it likes to bet. I always talk about it. Offers real time, you know, access to news, betting lines, players and team statistics, create tables and charts for you. It's a one-stop shop, man, for sure. If you guys are running low on time and want to be a little bit more efficient with your sports betting. But today, right before the show started, I was like, let me check jaXon out. So I did check jaXon out, asked jaXon, you know, what was the thoughts on this first game between the Atlanta Hawks and the Charlotte Hornets. And jaXon says the Hawks have struggled as favorites of 3.5 points or more this season, going 1-5 against the number. The Hornets, on the other hand, have been solid underdogs of 3.5 or more, going 8-7 against the number. Sharp picks slightly favor the Hawks, 50% versus 49%, but the Hornets' consistency is covering this underdogs, make them a strong play here. jaXon also likes the over. It says the Hawks are a high-scoring team, ranking top 10 in points per game and assists. They've also been involved in several high-scoring games recently, including a 135-124 win over the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Hornets, despite their struggles, rank second in the league in three-point attempts and third in three-point makes, which could contribute to a high-scoring game. The total's predicted to be 229, which 229.5, slightly favoring the over here. So looks like jaXon likes the over. Looks like jaXon likes the Hornets. I don't know if I can get with jaXon on this one, but just kind of letting you guys know, man. It is a promo code in the description of the video if people are interested in checking jaXon out. It can give you all of the stuff that I'm talking about and a whole lot more. You can ask for just player props. So check jaXon out. 50% off promo code, like I said in the description. Let's get into the games for today. First one up, we got the Atlanta Hawks and the Charlotte Hornets. This line opened, I think, at 2.5, 3, somewhere around that number. Total open 228.5. It's down to 225. We talked about this one last night before I actually fell asleep. Well, early this morning before I fell asleep. And I like the under in the game. I didn't quite get there, though. So you got both teams on the second leg of a back-to-back. Atlanta, second leg of a back-to-back, of course. They third game in 4 nights for the Atlanta Hawks as well. Back-to-back wins and covers versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. I was reading something yesterday. I want to share this real quick. I was reading something. It wasn't even yesterday. It was this morning. I was reading something this morning, early this morning when I was handicapping the game, and it said, let me see if I can find it real quick. Let's see. It said the Hawks are the only team to lose to both the Wizards and the Pistons. They're also the only team to beat the Celtics and the Cavs, the most confusing team in the NBA. And I think that's exactly what the Atlanta Hawks are. You never know what you're going to get. They can lose to the Wizards twice, or they can beat the Cavaliers twice. Cavs only got 3 losses on the season. 2 of them have come to this Atlanta Hawks team. So is Atlanta turning the corner now? Are they much better than we thought that they would be? Man, I know I'm not laying points with them. That's what I do know. On the Charlotte Hornets side, they were depleted yesterday. They come out, they played really hard defensively against the New York Knicks. And the under for the full game, I think, was opened at like 226. And that game never had a chance to go over. They're going to play hard for Coach Brandon Lee. I'm not sure if LaMelo's going to return today. He missed yesterday's game with some, I think it was calf tightness. So that's the one reason. I'm guessing, like I said, I have no idea. I was trying to find out if he was going to play today. I have no idea if he's going to play. Trey Mann looked like he's game time decision. Says LaMelo Ball's game time decision as well. I have no idea. We have to wait on the injury report. And since it's the second leg of a back-to-back, they don't have to submit it. So Salam has been hooping. I don't know if people have been. I watched that game yesterday versus the Knicks. Salam has been hooping. Maybe you play Salam. I feel like the favorites haven't really been covering, so I don't want to lay it with the Hawks here, especially on the road. Like, this is not a team that I want to lay a lot of points with. When you're getting points with them, it's totally different. But I guess they are the right side. I can see why people are putting their money on them, but I'm not putting my money on Atlanta in this spot. This is the second time that these two teams have played. Atlanta won 125-120 in Atlanta. They were 5.5 point favorites, didn't cover that game. That was back on October the 25th, so a little over a month ago. And I did look at unrested teams that previously won a cup game, and they're only 2-9 straight up, 5-5-1 against the number. So that would say Charlotte too. And jaXon kind of likes Charlotte, but I would need a bigger number with Charlotte. I think 4.5 is not big enough. Not laying with the Atlanta Hawks though. No way I'm laying with the Atlanta Hawks. Kind of gross game if I'm being honest. Maybe some Jalen Johnson props. I know Trae Young has continued to crush his assist number. Maybe those are ways that you could get into wanting to play this game, but nothing for me that I really like in this one at all. Just kind of feel like we need to know more about the injury report. And then my notes for the under, I did write down last night that the Hornets are 7-2 to the under as home dogs this season. Their games as home dogs are only averaging 212 points, and staying under, and they're staying under by an average of 12 points per game when they are home dogs. They continue to play very, very hard and shorthanded, and we saw that yesterday against the Knicks. We also saw them go under against the Magic on Monday earlier this week as well. So it was under. That was at 228.5. I didn't pull the trigger. It's down to 225.5. Probably should have put at least a little bit on the under yesterday. Probably gonna stay off of it at this point, losing 3 points of value, because this was, like I said, 228.5 last night. I like the under. I think a couple guys in the Discord like the over. Strong trend to the over too. I think it was like an unrested trend. So I'm gonna stay off of this one as far as total goes. Probably won't get there with anything at all. What up, Charles? What else y'all seeing in this one? GLB says, G421 says, yo, what up, Chris? Toronto finally didn't cover last night. Still catch RJ and Jakob. Yeah, man. I ain't gonna lie, I'm low-key kind of frustrated with Toronto. They were in the Hawk. Man, the Heat never win by double digits. You can't let the Heat beat you by double digits. And they covered the whole first quarter, had a 40-point second quarter. I'm locked into the game, and I just watched them just get mollywopped in that third quarter. They literally didn't cover the game because of the third quarter. They got outscored, like I said, by 23 points in the third quarter. You hate to see it, man. Hate to see it. What up, Bill? Blue Mamba, we'll get to that game. Meryl says she likes Jalen Johnson over his 33.5 points, rebounds, and assists. He's been a consistent, man. Real quick, let's just go look at this real quick before we move it on over to the next game. I'm a huge fan of Jalen Johnson. I feel like you got to be crazy not to be. Jalen Johnson is let's see. So his points plus, you got PRA here. His points plus assists, he's actually gone over in 8 of the last 10 games. The number is 24.5 if you just take his points and assists. He should be able to get there with the rebounds as well. But the points plus assists, over in 8 of his last 10 games. That's a really good look. The points, rebounds, and assists, he's gone over in 6 of the last 10. 4 straight though. Jalen Johnson is correlated for sure with this team playing a little bit better basketball as of late. 11 of his 19 games this season, he's gone over, hitting the over in 59%, 58%. It looks like what's that? 6 of his last 8, he's gone over. The games that he didn't go over, he only landed on the hook at 33 twice against Portland and Golden State. So yeah, I could get behind some Jalen Johnson props for sure in this one. Charlotte does play slow. That scares me a little bit, but I couldn't talk you off, man. Sammy says, Chris, thanks for all you do, my man. Finally able to catch a live. Have to say what surprised me yesterday was Hawks bench with Hunter Brogdon and Onyeka Okongwu healthy now. Yeah, they slowly but surely starting to get there, man. Hawks kind of turning the corner. Definitely turning the corner. And I appreciate the kind words, Samuel. Hope you have a great day. Charles says, Atlanta laying points. I want no parts. Me either. Shout out to Derek, man. Derek actually dropped. I meant to share this yesterday, but Derek actually dropped after the show ended. I go back and look at all the comments. Derek dropped Isaiah Hartenstein over his points, rebounds, and assists at 25.5. That number was bet up to 26.5. I tailed him on that. Shout out to you, Derek. Appreciate you, bro. I definitely cashed with you yesterday. Appreciate that. He says, good morning, beautiful people. Atlanta is 2-8 against the spread as a favorite, 20 in 24-25, 1-3 against the spread as a road favorite. Charlotte 7-3 as a home dog, 20 in this year. Charlotte's 8-4 with equal rest as opponent. And those trends were all kind of in my head, Derek. I'm right there with you, not laying points with Atlanta. JM says he's gonna audit, put Charlotte plus 10.5. Let's see. Jay Fuller says we could be overthinking this. Atlanta is rolling and healthy. And that's true. That's true, Jay Fuller. That is true. My money, I work too hard for it to lay points with Atlanta. And what if LaMelo's ruled in? I definitely don't like it as much. We could be all tripping though. Let's just take a look real quick before we move over to the next game. Let's match the two teams up on paper real quick. Let's go. Let's look at these two teams. Let's go. Specifically, I feel like Atlanta has been playing better defense. I know Charlotte offensively has been struggling, which is another reason why I like the under. So let's go Charlotte on offense and look at the Atlanta Hawks defense. All right, so let's just look at last 5 games. Last 5 games, Charlotte is 28th offensively in points scored per 100 possessions, only averaging 106.8. The 27th in effective field goal percentage. They turn the ball over at the 5th highest rate, 26%. 16.6%, which is 26th in the league. They shoot the fewest free throws. The only thing that the Charlotte Hornets are doing well on offense is they are doing a good job of offensive rebounding. 32.5% offensive rebound rate over the last 5 games. That is 4th. So they're doing a good job of that. How they match up with Atlanta. Atlanta defensively, don't look now, 13th defensively over the last 5 games, 20th in opponent effective field goal percentage. They're forcing the 14th highest turnover rate. They also are doing a good job of limiting offensive rebounds. So Atlanta could, if they come in here with the mindset that they are going to limit Charlotte offensive rebounds, and that honestly, I think that's just grit. Charlotte don't even got a bunch of centers right now. It's just a bunch of guys going out there playing hard, getting a lot of second chance opportunities. If they can limit Charlotte from getting those offensive rebounds, that's a big key to success here, especially with Charlotte offensively not doing a lot of other things. Atlanta offensively, not great. They've been winning with defense. 23rd in points scored per 100 possessions, 23rd in effective field goal percentage. They are doing a good job of protecting the basketball. They also getting a bunch of offensive rebounds, 9th in offensive rebound rate. And Charlotte giving up the 3rd most offensive rebounds. So Atlanta should be able to dominate the boards in this game. Now that I look at it on paper, Charlotte shooting a ton of threes, not attacking the rim at all. They're actually second in above the break 3 frequency, shooting the 2nd most above the break threes, the 3rd most threes in general, and they're shooting it decent, about 15th, 36% is right in the middle of the pack. Atlanta has been doing a pretty good job from 3. We know that on this full season, they're the worst 3-point defense. They're allowing teams to shoot 42% of their shots from 3, and teams are making 40% of their shots from 3. But last 5 games, they actually rank 18th and 19th. In opponent 3 percentage and opponent 3-point accuracy. So they are doing a much better job of taking teams off the 3-point line. Shout out to Quinn Snyder. Half court, Charlotte is the worst offense in the NBA, only averaging 88.6 points per 100 possessions in the half court. Like I said, they are getting a ton of offensive rebounds, 3rd most offensive rebounds. They're not running fast. They're 21st in offensive transition frequency. I should probably put this on the screen so you guys can see it, but I'm just talking it out. Atlanta defense is a lot better than Charlotte offense over the last 10 games. I'll say that. Let's switch it. Let's go Atlanta offense and look at and see if Charlotte should be able to score. If Atlanta should be able to score based on shot zones and all that good stuff. Percentages. Let's see, Atlanta and Charlotte. All right, so last 5 games, we got Atlanta. They've been shooting a ton of their shots in the paint, actually 3rd in paint frequency. They're not shooting a ton of threes. They're 24th in all 3 frequency, 21st in all 3 accuracy. So they're not shooting a ton of threes at all. They're getting inside the paint, 3rd in paint frequency, 13th in paint accuracy, shooting a bunch of mid-range shots as well. The corner threes have been going in for them. They're 7th in frequency, 8th in accuracy. And defensively for Charlotte, they've been doing a pretty good job of protecting the rim and the paint. From the 3-point line, they've struggled. Atlanta in the half court, 16th in points scored per 100 possessions. Charlotte actually 4th in opponent defense. They're only giving up 91 points per 100 possessions in the half court. Atlanta is pushing pace. They're 2nd in frequency, transition frequency. Charlotte 10th in limited transition frequency, 9th in limited transition points scored per 100 possessions. This sets up for under. I feel like the under is the best play, but I missed the best number. So hopefully that was helpful for you guys. Just kind of looking at the game from on paper perspective. Let's go back up to the top, and then we'll keep it moving to the next game. Let's see. Did we get any more comments here? This was, I think I was on Derek's comment. Line moving towards Hornets is 3.5 on Bet Rivers. Justin said. Leaning Hornets team total under. G421 says. DeAndre Hunter, shout out UVA. It's over 17.5 points, rebounds, and assists. I know he cashed yesterday. 77 figures, so he got there with the Magic yesterday. It was a wagon. What up to my guy, Sai? What up, bro? Brad says, can't figure out the Hornets. Almost beat the Knicks with our G League squad. I think that was more on the Knicks than it was on the Hornets, but it's my take. John says he grabbed the -3. Aaron on the opposite side says give him the Hornets plus 4.5. Everyone wants to be on the Hawks because they beat the Cavs twice. Somebody gonna be overthinking it. Merrill says give him Clint Capella over his 8.5 rebounds. They rebound all LaMelo's bricks. LaMelo do be out there firing, bro. He do be firing. Appreciate this there. He says, I made more money telling you, Chris. Teamwork makes the dream work. Absolutely, bro. Appreciate you for dropping that off yesterday. Had to give you a shout out today. Chasen says they want the cup bad. Talking about Atlanta. And Atlanta, I think, is going to advance. Boston didn't have a big enough win margin yesterday. I think Atlanta is going to advance and be in the cup. So the way the cup works, just FYI, for people who don't know, there is a wild card in the cup. So it's going to be one wild card team. Just something to kind of take into consideration. Boston can still make it if they get that wild card. I'm not sure about all the stipulations. It's a whole lot, of course, but Boston can still make it even though Atlanta is going to win that group. What up, Chasing the Bag? Doggy Bone in here as well. JM says number one suspect Trae Young over his 3.5 rebounds today. What up, Marquise? He says Brandon Miller over his 3-point prop, rise and grind family. Yeah, he could have a bounce back game. I know he struggled yesterday against the Knickerbockers. All right, let's keep it pushing. Next game we got up is the Detroit Pistons and the Philadelphia 70. We don't even call them by their name. We just call them the team from Philly. Almost got me there. All right, total dropping in this game was at 216.5, coming down to 215.5. Line has pretty much stayed the same. You can get a 1.5 if you like Detroit over on Caesars. You can also get a 2 on most other books if you want to take the points with the team from Philadelphia. So I'm looking at the game yesterday, right? And we'll start with the Philly side. They've lost back-to-back games to they just recently lost to the Rockets. They also lost to the Clippers, got smoked by the Clippers. Outside of the win that they got against the Brooklyn Nets, they've actually lost the other 7 of their previous 8 games. They also off an overtime game against the Houston Rockets. And you remember how, like, for people who've been watching the show all year and been paying attention to the team from Philadelphia, you know how we keep saying, like, this is a team from Philadelphia spot, right? This is the time to back them. And they got me once. I think they only got me once. I don't think I bet them but once. They won't have better spots. Like, there won't be a better spot, in my opinion. There won't be a better spot for any team. They just continue to drop the ball in this spot. So something that was interesting to me, I looked at how the team from Philadelphia does when they have the rest advantage this season. Because a lot of the times you keep getting them, second leg of a back-to-back. The other team's in the third game in 4 nights. Like, they got all the motivation because they're coming off a loser streak and they continuously drop the ball. The Philadelphia team is 0-5 straight up and against the spread when they have the rest advantage this season. 0-5 straight up, 0-5 against the number when they have the rest advantage this season. That makes me want to push towards Detroit. Detroit, the reason why I'm hung up here is Detroit is coming off a cup game. They won last night. They smoked the Indiana Pacers. That game was never really close. They dominated them in the first quarter, never looked back. And now the Detroit Pistons are undefeated in cup play. With I'm pretty sure they have the most point differential too, because they smoked the Pacers yesterday in Indiana. Never really close. After losing that game to Memphis the other day, they lost to Memphis, got smoked in that game with no Cade Cunningham. Cade Cunningham returned yesterday, went through shoot around. smoked it was never, like I said, it was never close. Tobias Harris played. I'm watching the post-game interview with Malik Beasley. He's talking about how, he always takes it personal when he plays against that team because he was on the Bucks last year, and how the history between the Bucks and the Pacers, they just hate each other. So I think Detroit could potentially kind of exhale a little bit in this spot. This is a road home back-to-back as well. They failed to cover 5 straight games before last night. They only won in 3 straight up, 3-1 against the number when they're playing on back-to-backs this season. So that kind of gives me a lot of hesitation, man. Defensively, they should be pretty good. And injury report, I forgot to mention injury report, but it should be pretty clean. Embiid still out. PG, I think, is listed as questionable. Who cares? He hasn't really done much. And Caleb Martin is also listed as questionable. Detroit already beat the Philadelphia team one time this season. They beat them 105 to 95. Beat them by 10, and they were getting 4 points. And that game was in Philly. So yeah, it's crazy to think, but the Pistons are better than this team from Philly right now. I know Maxi's back. If I was to bet on the game, I do think it's a Maxi spot. We'll see what happens with PG, but Maxi points prop sitting at 24.5. He's actually gone up and over 2 of the last 3 games. I do think that they play with a sense of urgency. 2 of his last 3 games since coming back from injury, I should say. And against Houston the other day, you can kind of tell the minutes limit was off for Maxi. He played 45 minutes in that game, even though it did end up going to overtime. So I think Maxi over 24.5 is probably a solid play, but we'll see what happens with PG. He is listed as questionable right now. On the opposite side, I think, if you're a system guy, if you just continue to play a prop over and over again and you don't look at matchups at all, and some people I know do that and they've had a lot of success, you play Cade up and over his 8.5 assists. He's cleared it 10 straight games, has Cade Cunningham, after having 11 last night against the Indiana Pacers. So 10 straight. I know we talked a little bit about Cade yesterday. I said the Pacers can't guard anybody. 10 straight times has Cade gone up and over 8.5 assists. So couldn't talk anybody off Cade. I think Maxi has a big game in this one. I like the guards in this one. Didn't play the side, didn't play the total. Just wanted to share with you guys what I was thinking. The first comment I see, bro, I'm gonna go to it in a second. I just want to stay in order. LJ says Detroit has covered 3 straight first quarters. The team from Philadelphia are -6 in point differential over the last 3 first quarters. So that's why he likes Detroit early. Jalen says he likes the over 216.5. Tasha says I missed with Philadelphia. They need to get rid of the senior citizens. Jamel says Wizards on the money line. We'll get to that game. 5-star says Hawks and Sixers both covered today. Okay. Charles White said if Cade plays, I'm taking his points, rebounds, and assists sprinkled on this triple-double. That's how I feel about it, Tasha. Not messing with, bro. It's a Saturday, man. I'm about to go do some stuff with the fam. I'm not about to have my day messed up because I didn't put my money on the team from Philadelphia today, man. Dougie Bone says Cade is back. Pistons on the money line. He don't care about the no rest. Merrill says it's a team from Philadelphia spot. How many times have we said that this season? Eventually, they're probably gonna win one. I'm not putting my money on it. We got some more love for the Philadelphia team. Remember last game, right? What was it? Matter of fact, I'm gonna go back to it real quick. When the last time they played? Yeah, I got it right here in my notes. Last time they played, they were getting 5.5 points against the Houston Rockets, and it was a spot play for the team from Philadelphia. Teams that were unrested, that previously won as a road dog in an overtime game, 31 and 68 straight up. They were only covering 31% of the time. Well, make it about 32 because the team from Philadelphia still got smoked in that spot. Even in overtime, which should have been a spot for them because the longer the game went on, it should have favored the team from Philadelphia. I'm not putting any of my hard-earned money on that team, but if you guys like them, don't let me talk you off. Absolutely a spot for him, and we've seen spots for him this season. SK says back to the well with Cade, rebounds and assists over 14.5, 11 straight, but tonight looks like a spot he could see reduced minutes and rest. Potentially, because like I said, Detroit has taken these cup games very, very seriously, as they should. They're undefeated. Coyote Picks likes Paul George over his points. Mark says, I'll take Detroit early. Not sure first quarter or first half, which one he likes most. Cade points and assists. Brian says, good morning, Chris. Detroit still won't beat Philadelphia. In Charlotte, this is the exact game Atlanta loses. Little late today. Let's get it. Okay. SK says, also Cade only 33 minutes last night. Looks like they was holding him back just a little about the hip. I don't think they really needed him as much, is what I'm thinking. Merrill likes Cade over 13.5 rebounds and assists, so a lot of love there. Derek likes it as well. He says over 14.5 rebounds and assists. Rinse and repeat with Cade. He cleared the line 11 straight games. So outside of just the assists going over for 11 straight games, well, 10 straight games, I know at least, he's actually gone up and over the rebounds and assists as well. Cade is a pretty good rebounder. Let's see. G421 says, if you put it that way, Chris, give me Detroit plus 1.5. So I'm not betting this game, but I just wanted to just give you guys my thoughts real quick. Sean says he got Pistons on the money line. What up to my guy Fahrenheit? Drop a dime says really like the Pistons team total over 108.5. He thinks that they could score against the team from Philadelphia. Preston says Cade been flirting with that triple double. John says Cade didn't get his assist line against the 70s against the team from Philadelphia this season. Only had 14 potential. Pistons team total over for Coyote picks. All right. We did a pretty good job here, man. I'm not talking about this game no more. Chris Florence says, good morning, Chris. I know this got nothing to do with the game, but could you send me your condolences? Could you send your condolences to Mitch Wilson? This has nothing to do with the game, Florence. But yeah, I heard about it. I don't know him. He wasn't somebody that I know, or I don't think I'd ever even seen him before. I kind of stayed to myself, man. Like most of you guys should know, I'm not big in the spaces in general. Couple guys that I do know, but yeah, it's always sad to see anybody, in the industry, especially that was doing it the right way, pass away. So condolences to him, to his family, and everybody else that was impacted by his loss. You hate to see that. So yeah, I would send condolences to anybody right here. So yeah, rest in peace to Mitch, man. Sounds like it was a big loss for the community in general. Like I said, I didn't know him though, but definitely sending my sentiments for sure. Let's go over to Washington and Milwaukee. We just double checked the injury report. I looked at it yesterday. I want to make sure we don't miss anything here. Yeah, it's exactly what I thought it was. So we got a Wizards team that's getting 15.5 points. We obviously shouldn't be calling the Wizards either. We should just, because Wizards start with a W, and that's something they don't. They're more like the Izzards. We should call them the Washington Izzards or the Washington Izzards. You should take all the W's away from everything that has anything to do with the basketball team, the professional male basketball team that plays in DC. So the Washington Izzards is what we should call them. No W's around at all for this team. They are on the second leg of a they're coming off 2 days rest in this spot. But the Bucks are coming off 3 days rest. The Washington Izzards have lost 10 straight games. They've only covered 2 of their last 10. They've won. I don't know what I wrote here, but this definitely not right. Injury report, you got Kyle Kuzma listed as out in this game. And I'll get straight to it. I like the Wizards team total under. I put this in the Discord last night. I don't see a world where the Wizards scored a basketball in this spot. This total open 234.5, and it's come down. I agree with the move. It's down to 230 on some books. The Wizards team total, I think best number you can get right now is 107.5. I actually didn't even play it last night. I woke up this morning, played it right before the show. Well, not right before the show, but I played it this morning. Still got to send it out to members. I don't think it's gonna move too much more. But yeah, I like the Wizards team total under here. The Bucks. I put this in the Discord last night. The Bucks are 5-1 to the under, dating back to last season when they're a double-digit home favorite. Double-digit home favorites in general, 27-14 to the under this season. That's cashing about 65%. And if the total is 230 or higher, those games are 10-3 to the under. So it's 77% this season for double-digit home favorites with a higher total than 230. You look at the Wizards; they're averaging just 98 points per game as double-digit dogs this season in three games that they have been double-digit dogs. They rank dead last in offensive efficiency over the last 5 games. Second worst effective field goal percentage shooting team. 27th in offensive rebounding rate. So not getting a lot of second chance opportunities. They're 25th in free throw rate over the last 5 games. The Bucks quietly have crept into the top 12 defensively. They're doing a great job of protecting the rim. They rank in the top half of the league in shot zones defensively that the Washington Wizards like to shoot at, which is in the paint and in the rim. The Wizards are the worst three-point shooting team over the last 5 games. So 6 straight team total unders for the Wizards. They have failed to get to 108. 6 straight games they've stayed under their team total. I like the Washington Wizards today under their team total. The Bucks defense, especially coming off 3 days rest, I think will be even if they're not locked in, maybe they miss some shots, but I think this is the under spot. I think that's how you play the Wizards. You just keep taking their team total under. Right now, 107.5 is available on FanDuel at -110 and on Bet365 at -115. Everywhere else got a 106.5. And if you got it last night, you got a 108.5. I think that was the best number that was available on Caesars, and that's dropped 2 points. So that's what I like in this game, man. Wizards team total under. I also think just because they've been pretty poor on defense as well, you could look at a Damian Lillard assist prop, especially at home. I feel like Damian been crushing his assist line. Real quick. Yeah, Dame assist 6.5, -145, a little juice attached to it, but I do think that this is a nice Damian Lillard spot. If you are a player prop type player, Dame should feast against the Wizards. Real quick, let's look at his assists, specifically in home games. I know he's been crushing it. Yeah, 4 of his last 5 games, he's had at least 10 or more. And I don't think he's going to have to go crazy in this game as far as scoring the basketball. He'll be the facilitator. So, yeah, 4 of his last 5, he's had 10 or more. 6.5 feels pretty good. And I lay the juice, drink that -145. Other books got it up to 6.5 or -150, -154. I see -155. So definitely shop around. Let me know what you guys are thinking. Let's go see what you guys are thinking about this one. But that's the way that I would play this game. Let's see. Brian says the Cup yesterday, New York is starting off hungover from Thanksgiving. Was tough to watch, but ended with the Thunder outworking the Lakers late. JJ Redick, defense BS. Yeah, I watched the whole game last night. It was just a terrible foul. I mean, I knew the Lakers was gonna lose anyway. We talked about that yesterday, and they couldn't stop SGA, like I said yesterday. But yeah, Max Christie just fouled him. When we have a foul to give. So yeah, it is what it is. Derek likes Lillard over his 7.5. Says cleared to 7.5 in 4 of his last 5 since coming back from injury. Washington gives up the 3rd most assists to the point guard position. I love it. Love it today, Derek. Love it. OJ says the team from the DMV. Shout out to the DMV, man. Shout out to the DMV. Mark says, Chris, we can just call them the losers. Don't even call them the Izzards. Call them the losers. No W's at all for them, Sean. No W's, man. SK likes Brogdon over his 18.5 points and assists. He says been hitting on limited minutes over 4 straight versus teams that drafted him. Okay. He says half unit due to blowout risk. Jalen likes Poole over his 23.5 points plus assists, and Giannis over his 31.5 points in this game. Merle says Malcolm Brogdon as well over his 21.5 points plus rebounds and assists. Definitely an under spot. Good looks on that team. Total GOB best got a better number than I did because I forgot to play it last night. Dame over 7.5, 7 assists, Merle says. So yeah, a lot of people liking Dame today. Merle says Giannis over his 11.5 rebounds. Dame over his 3.5 threes for J-Dot. LJ says the Bucks first half. So real quick, I'm glad LJ put this in here. Shout out to LJ. Hope all is well with you down in H-Town, LJ. Real quick, I got to go pull this up real quick because this has been so profitable, man. And I think I'm going to just have to blindly start taking it. And that's the Washington Wizards first half team total. Let me see if I can find the number real quick. I know I talked about it the other day when they were playing against the Bulls. And that was the first leg of a back-to-back. They cashed. They only had 47 points. Then after that game, They played against who did they play after the Bulls? They played the Clippers, and it was 47, 51 and a half, I think it was. They couldn't get there either. So real quick, watch the Wizards team total first half, 54 and a half right now. The number is. The Wizards are, I just want to get you guys an updated number. I know it's won every single time this season. The Wizards are okay, it was a home trend. Never mind, my fault. Okay. So the Wizards are 14-3 to the under on their first half team total. 3-0 to the under on their first half team total if they have the rest disadvantage, but 9-0 as a home dog. This has been so. If the Wizards at the crib, just take their first half team total under, kind of like what LJ is saying. The Bucks are, as a home favorite, their opponents are 6-3 to the under on their team total. A perfect 4-0 if the Bucks are more rested on the full game team total under. So yeah, a lot of things like in the Wizards, either first half and full game team total unders, and I would agree with it. To LJ's point, the Bucks are 5-3-1 against the spread as a home favorite, 10-7 straight up, 10-7-1 overall in the first half, and the Wizards are 5-12 overall, and 5-12 overall, 4-13 against the number in the first half. So yeah, a Bucks first half spot could be should make a lot of sense in this spot. You do got to lay 10 with them in the first half though. Books are not giving you a discount. Not giving you a discount at all. I actually like the first half team total under a little bit more. They really struggle to score, man. It's a bunch of young guys out there. 54.5 is the number. Bet365 right now for the Washington Wizards. Washington first half team total under 54.5. I'm writing it down. All right, let's see. I got 107.5 mark, which is still available on Bet365, and available on FanDuel. FanDuel got the best number right now though, so definitely shop around. Derek says Brogdon over is 18.5 points and assists. That continues to cleared his number 4 to 6 games this year, including last 4 games. Milwaukee allows the most points per game to opposing point guards. No Kuzma creates about 16 extra shots a game, averages 15.8. Okay. Solid. GLB Best got the best number, 108.5. Like it. G421 says Giannis is going to be dominating tonight. That makes a lot of sense. Here we go. Chris, do you like the Wizards first half team total under as well? Yeah, I think so, man. I know I just talked about it. I think so. Walter says Washington may be the only team I trust the Bucks to blow out. Bucks are usually a fade for me. Yeah, Wizards are bad though. Boy, are they bad. What up, Big Smoothie? Alex says, do you think the Bucks can cover this big of a spread? I think that they can. I'm not willing to trust it though. This is the one line that really hasn't moved a lot. Like when I went back and looked at it last night, the Wizards are losing by about 16 points per game. So this is more like a coin flip to me, which is why I didn't play it. Could they get blown out in this spot? Absolutely. Could they keep it and lose by 14 within 14? Yeah. Either way, I don't think they score though, and that's the way I chose to play it. Is their team total under, especially with the Bucks being a little bit better defensively. The other thing is the Wizards don't play fast. The Wizards on the full season are 22nd in frequency as far as offensive transition frequency. Last 5 games, they actually dropped to 24th. So they're playing even slower in transition. They're the worst transition team as far as points scored per 100 possessions. Remember last year, the Wizards were playing fast, getting up and down the floor. They're actually playing very, very slow right now. And I expect that to continue because the Bucks also don't play fast. The Bucks are, I'm seeing 17th in pace right now. So yeah, I don't think this game's gonna be played too fast. That's why could they cover? Yeah, they should cover. But we still got Ham Sandwich and Glenn over there, so it's a little scary at times, man. I do think the team total under is the best play though. Adam says I live in the DMV and I'm a huge Wizards fan. It's tough right now. Yeah, I poke fun at the Wizards, man. The organization in general is a losing organization, but I do think that, you got to go through tough times. Like, they just going to be going through them for a long time. But I think the Wizards will be good in like 2030 probably. Let's see. Dropping Dimes says, I knew I should have took the New Orleans Pigeons last night. They lost last night. They ain't covered. They did not cover. Christian says, do you think the Wizards even care anymore? Time to blow up the team and just rebuild? I mean, they're already rebuilding. They're playing this. They're playing the rookies a lot. Bud Carrington, Bilal. Like they're playing those guys a lot of minutes too. So Jordan Poole's unders, absolutely in play because Coach Keefe is like he's dividing the minutes up pretty evenly. Jordan Poole splits towards his first half and full game unders have been absolutely cash. Something that I keep thinking about but not actually playing because he don't play too many second half minutes. Like Jordan Poole does what he does in the first quarter, first half. They keep it kind of a little competitive in the first quarter, and then they get the doors blew off of them, typically in the third and fourth quarter. So they already blew it up. I mean, the only thing you left to do is get rid of Kyle Kuzma. Yeah, I mean, that's really all you got. I guess you want to build around Jordan Poole. He's still pretty young, but I don't know how much he's going to be the best guy on a top team. David says Hawks look good against top teams, beating the Cavs and the Celtics. What's their record following a win versus a top team? I'd be interested to look at that as well. It'd be a pretty small sample though. Let's see. Hawks, previous win, previous opponent win percentage, greater than 50. They are 2-2 straight up, 2-2 against the spread. Lost to the Thunder, lost to the Wizards. Of course, that was early in the season. Lost to the Warriors. Beat the Cavs, and now they got the Hornets. So 2-2 straight up, 2-2 against the spread. Not a lot there, David. Bucks play with their food in the first half too much, Helms says. I feel like they've been better in the first half, Helms. But I guess you might be right. They are a lot. They're covering a lot more though. I will say that. GLB Best says, Chris, check this out. Trend for the under. So he got this year. It looks like this year. Total greater than 230. And home team that's laying 10 points or more, and they are rested. So they're not playing on the second leg of a back-to-back. 10-2 to the under so far this season. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Going under by about 9.5 points per game, holding opponents to about 105 points per game. Love to see it. Love it, love it, love it. Yeah, I like that a lot, GLB Best. Correlates with our team total under. What up, Brian? Appreciate you for tapping in. Rest at home dog faves are 10-3 to the under this season. Shout out to GLB Best, man. Bucks bench is so what, Marquise? Wizards are the capital city. Go extended. Appreciate this prestigious project. Let's keep it moving, man. I feel like I'm going pretty slow, but it's cool. I'm just talking it out with you guys. Let's get over to the next game. We got the Golden State Warriors and the Phoenix Suns. Is this we got one more game after this, I think, which is another reason why I didn't mind doing the show pretty slow today. Because after I get done with the show, I'm probably not going to even think about basketball no more unless I see an injury report. All right, let's go Warriors and Suns. So you got the Warriors getting 2.5 points here as road dogs. You got the Suns laying 2.5 at the crib. Both of these teams have been pretty poor recently. Golden State is coming off 2 days rest. They've actually lost 3 straight outright losses, 4 straight non-covers for the Golden State Warriors. And they've actually regressed a lot. 3-6 against the spread in their last 10 games. 3 straight unders on the road have the Golden State Warriors had. And you look at Phoenix, they're coming off 2 days rest. This is their 5th straight home game, typically a spot you don't want to bet against. And of course, their 3rd game back with Bradley Beal and Devin Booker. And Kevin Durant. And they do got a couple. This game was kind of like a wait and see game for me just because of the injury report. You got Nurkic listed as questionable. You got Bill listed as questionable. You got Wiggins on the opposite side with Steph both listed as questionable. We know Steph didn't play in that last game. And like I said, Phoenix, 5th straight home game. They're coming off a 10-point loss to the Brooklyn Nets as a 9-point favorite in that game. Got smoked in that game by Brooklyn the other day. But you know what? Brooklyn also smoked the Golden State Warriors as well. Beat both of these teams by, 9-10 points at least. Phoenix in the head-to-head matchup, they've won 7 of the last 10. So they have kind of had the Golden State Warriors numbers. Golden State did win the last game, though, and they covered as a 1.5-point dog. I think they won the game by 2 the last time that these two teams played last season. So this is a wait-and-see game for me, man. I know Golden State got a bad taste in their mouth, after losing 3 straight games. But if you're the Phoenix Suns, you got to have a bad taste in your mouth as well after losing to the Brooklyn Nets, especially after you beat the Lakers outright the night before. We saw them play really good defense and then not be able to guard the three-point line. They play really good defense against the Lakers, then not able to guard the three-point line. To me, it feels like the teams that are going to give, the Phoenix Suns the most trouble are the teams that are going to be able to shoot the three-point shot. The Lakers can't. They're not a great three-point shooting team outside of Connect. So, like I said, they held the Lakers down, but they really struggled against Brooklyn. Brooklyn is actually one of the best three-point shooting teams. They're top 3 in three-point shooting over the last 5 games. So Golden State, we know, can shoot the 3. We know they're going to take a bunch of them. That's what Steve Kerr has religiously done. So that, I don't know. I'm just kind of talking it out with you guys. Let's see if I match the teams up on the floor real quick, and we'll go through. It honestly don't matter if Steph don't play. He's listed as questionable, him and Wiggins. I think you gotta like Phoenix in my opinion in that spot. They're a short home favorite. Typically, you don't want to lay too many points with them. I know they're not great as a home favorite this season. They're 1-5 against the number as a home favorite, but they've won 5 of the 6 games. So 5-1 straight up, 1-5 against the number, winning by an average of 5 points per game. They're not trying to win by a lot, but they are winning. Every win has come by, I see a win by 2, a win by 3, a win by 4, a win by 6, and a win by 27 against the Lakers, and then an outright loss to the Nets. Warriors have been better on the road, I feel like, than on the they're 7-3 straight up, 6-4 against the number on the road are the Golden State Warriors this season, winning by about 8 points per game. Although they have lost, they've lost 2 of their last 3, failed to cover 3 in a row, and 4 of their last 5 on the road. Bad loss against the Cavs, of course. They did beat the Thunder, but they have not played well since they played the Thunder. They lost to the Clippers, lost to didn't cover against the Pelicans, won their game by only 4. And then lost outright to the Spurs by 10 after having a 10-point lead at halftime. So, and the Warriors, I don't know if people are paying attention. Last thing I'll mention, and I'll go through the comments. The Warriors they got the most brutal schedule that I think I've ever seen in basketball. I can't remember a team having this many games in a row against this many good against this competition. If you look at the Warriors schedule, I was looking into this like a couple days ago. The Warriors they just played the Thunder. They got the Suns today. They play the Nuggets on Tuesday. Then they got the Rockets on Thursday. Then they got the Timberwolves twice on Friday and Sunday. Then they got the Grizzlies. Then they got the Timberwolves again. Then they got the Pacers, the Lakers, the Clippers, the Suns, the Cavs. Like, that's a brutal stretch of games. I know the Timberwolves haven't been great, and they got the Timberwolves 3 times in there. The Pacers haven't been great. But the Lakers, the Clippers, the Suns, the Cavs, the 76ers, the Nuggets, the Rockets, like, this is the Grizzlies, like that's a tough schedule the Warriors have. So they're gonna need to turn it around quick. I didn't bet this game. Like I said, I need to know what's going on with the injury report before I want to put any of my hard-earned money on the game. Let's see what you guys are thinking. We'll move over to the last game. Draymond over his 6.5 rebounds, Merrill says. KD over his 31.5 points, rebounds, and assists. And Bradley Beal over his 14.5 points. Tyus Jones over his 6.5 assists. And I agree with Prestige. Probably the hardest game on the card for sure, especially not knowing who's going to play. I'm not betting. I'm not jumping out in front. And then Steve Kerr says that Steph is not going to play. Let's see. If Steph plays, 4+ rebounds, 5+ assists, 4 threes is a great same game parlay for him. Very profitable, LJ says. Warriors unraveling a bit. Steph needs help, Jay Fuller says. So real quick, let's look at that. Let's look at Golden State. So on the full season, their offense has actually been middle of the pack. They're 15th. in points scored per 100 possessions, 15th in effective field goal percentage. So they are average offense on the full season. They also shoot the second fewest free throws due to Golden State Warriors. So not getting any easy baskets. They're the 10th offensive rated rebounding team, and they're playing at a top 5 pace. Last 5 games, however, offense has fallen off a cliff. 22nd in points scored per 100 possessions, 22nd in effective field goal percentage, still shooting the second fewest free throws. Phoenix defensively has been terrible last 5 games as well. 28th in points allowed per 100 possessions. They're actually the worst effective field goal percentage shooting team, allowing teams to shoot 60% from the field. They're not forcing turnovers. They are limiting teams to the fewest offensive rebound opportunities, and they're fouling at the 8th highest rate over the last 5 games. So this does not bode well for the Phoenix Suns. Here, Golden State still shooting a ton of threes, 5th and above the break 3 frequency, 10th in accuracy, 7th in overall 3 frequency, 18th in accuracy. Phoenix has struggled against teams that shoot the 3, allowing teams to shoot 40% from the 3-point line over the last 5 games, which is 27th. Above the break 3, even worse, they're 29th in opponent 3-point accuracy. Teams are shooting 40% from the 3-point line. So this really comes down to if Golden State's going to be able to knock down threes, and I think you want Steph to be a part of that. Half court offense, Golden State's offense has been terrible, 24th in points scored in the half court per play, but the Phoenix Suns defense are giving up the 3rd most. So Golden State offense should be able to bounce back a little bit in this spot. Golden State still getting out running in transition, the 12th in frequency, 10th in points scored per 100 possessions in transition. Phoenix giving it up, 24th in points allowed per 100 possessions. This bodes well for Golden State offensively, especially struggling to score the basketball like they have been. If we look at Phoenix offensively versus Golden State defensively, we see the last 5 games, Phoenix has actually been really good on offense. They're 6th in points allowed, in points scored per 100 possessions, 3rd in effective field goal percentage. Makes a lot of sense when you get Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal back. Protecting the ball really well, 5th in turnover rate, not getting a bunch of offensive rebounds, and not shooting a ton of free throws. They are shooting a ton of threes, though. Shooting a ton of threes, 6th in 3 frequency, 7th in accuracy. Corner threes, above the break threes, they're top 5 in both of those shots. Golden State's still doing a really good job, even though they've struggled. They're still doing a really good job defending the 3-point line. Their opponents are shooting just 32.5% over the last 5 games. Golden State's still a top 5 defense over the last 5 games. It's been more so their offense, holding teams to 50.8% effective field goal shoot percentage, which is 5th as well. Not forcing a bunch of turnovers, but limiting teams to the 8th fewest offensive rebounds. Half court, Phoenix has the 3rd best offense, 28th offensive rebounding rate. Golden State 13th in points allowed in the half court, 8th in opponent offensive rebound rate. So they're doing a good job of grabbing rebounds. Phoenix playing a little fast, 9th in transition frequency, 11th in points allowed and points scored per 100 possessions. Golden State doing a pretty good job, 8th in opponent points allowed in transition. So this tells me nothing. if I don't know if the injury report is going to, be there. I kind of want to take the points with Golden State if they're healthy, though. I kind of want to take the points, and I know it hasn't been a winning proposition. Well, it has been a winning proposition, but it hasn't been a winning proposition if you want to fade the Suns at home. Like I said, 5-1 straight up at the crib. You really just need them to win the game, unless you would like the Warriors outright in this spot, and they are coming off 3 straight losses. So, clearly I'm rambling. I don't know what to do with this game, if I'm being honest. Warriors are 12-6 ATS in the first half. The Suns 7-11 ATS in the first half, and if they're a home favorite, only 1-5. So maybe Warriors early as road dogs. The Warriors are 4-0 straight up. 4-0 against the spread, 3-1 straight up in the first half. Maybe Warriors early. Warriors early kind of based on Moneyballer. Warriors early kind of make a ton of sense here. Opponent first half team total under for the Warriors. They're 4-0. They've held all 4 of their opponents to under their first half point prop. When they're a road dog, that is. What's the first half team total? First half team total under Warriors first half. I'm gonna write that down. Golden State first half. But I need Steph in. I need Wiggins in too. And we'll see what happens with Nurkic. But I need those guys to be in for sure if I'm playing it. All right, let's see what you guys are saying before we get over to the next one. Warriors have the #1 bench in the league, Peasy says. Joe the Gambler posted a trend in the court last night that says fade the good. Yeah, I did see this. Forgot to mention that. He says fade the good, rested road dogs of 3 losses or more, 7-19 against the number going back all the way to 2000. There was a strong trend towards the under too, and that's what I was thinking of playing in this one was under. Since Buddy went in that slump, the Warriors are 5-5, Merrill says. GLB Best says Phoenix -2.5 for nothing here. Tough game. Brian likes Golden State in the bounce back. A lot of conflicting trends here. Brian says Poole is going under his points today. Don't be fooled with Kuzma out and Dame over assists. Yeah, I agree with that, David. Yeah, just because Kuzma is out, don't mean Poole gonna be cooking. I agree with you there. Jalen says, look into Kevin Durant, rebounds and assists. It's been a machine. Charles says KD getting 25. Meet me at the window. Okay. Okay. Let's see what that first half number is real quick. Warriors come out here, play a little defense. Suns first half team total under 58.5. Best first half spread number is Golden State +1.5. I can't get there though. A couple 1.5s out there. I can't get there without knowing the status of these guys. So we won't talk too much more. 77 Figure says Suns -2.5, but need Nurk and Bill in. Yeah, I think you the opposite. You need, if you like the Warriors, you need those guys in too. Let's go over to the last game on the slate for today. Before we get up out of here, we got the Dallas Mavericks. This line open with the Mavs laying 6 as road favorites. They're now laying 6.5. At least that's what the last number I saw. Total open 229.5 is up to 233.5 here. And actually come back down to 232.5 now. Some 233s out there as well. So definitely shop around for whatever it is that you like. If you're interested, you got a Dallas team coming off 2 days rest. First leg of a back-to-back. They got a game against the Portland Trailblazers tomorrow. Since Dallas lost 2 weeks ago against the Utah Jazz, they actually won 6 of their last 7 games, and they've covered 6 of their last 7 spreads. If you guys remember, I think that game was on a Monday. We took Dallas. They were laying 7.5, 8. Luka gets ruled out, or no, Kyrie gets ruled out, and they lose the game outright to Utah. So you got incentive to win this game, especially being how bad you played in Utah the other day. On the Utah side, 4th straight home game for them. They've lost 6 of their last 7 since they beat the Mavericks. The only team that they beat was the Knicks somehow. And back-to-back losses in non-cover against the Spurs and against the Denver Nuggets at home. First leg of a back-to-back as well. They got the Lakers coming to town tomorrow, which will be their 5th straight home game. So injury report here, you got Flipikowski and Jordan Clarkson both already ruled out. Lauri Markkanen missed that last game against Denver. We cashed big on Denver the other day in this spot. Lauri Markkanen missed that game. He was out for personal reasons. He is back, and John Collins is also listed available to play. Both of those guys should be in. Clay has already been ruled out, and Luka is listed as doubtful in this game. I don't like fading Utah too much in Utah, if I'm being honest. This is the spot where they typically, they bring something if they have anything. And 7 is a big number without, one of your best shooters. Clay 3-point prop went over in that game that they played. And you got Luka. He did go through practice yesterday. Maybe he potentially returns. I don't think that they're going to bring him back in a game like this, though. Not against Utah in altitude. So 7 is a really big number. I know that the Jazz stink, but I don't want to continue to keep fading the Jazz at the crib. I know that they're one of the worst teams, but they've already lost back-to-back games that didn't cover it. Like, this is how it happens with the Jazz. They lose a couple. Before you know it, they went out right. Like I said, the Mavs have all the incentive, though. They lost 113 to 115 in Utah. That game was, I think, exactly about 2 weeks ago. And they even with that, they've won 7 of the last 10 in Utah. Versus Utah. So they typically own this team, but they got smoked last time, and I was on the wrong side of that one. Kyrie gonna have to do a lot. They're gonna have to lock in defensively. I know Najee Marshall is going up and over his points prop. He's had 20, I think, in 4 of his last 5 games or something like that. I was looking into that. Didn't quite get to the window with it. But Utah's not a good team at all. They just feisty, specifically at the crib. So probably not a game that I'm gonna play if I'm looking side of total, if I'm being honest with you guys. But I kind of want to get there with a Utah team total under as well. I kind of feel like the Mavs have been playing a little bit better defensively without Luka. Luka is not the greatest defensive guy because he don't put a lot of effort on the defensive end, and we know that. When I look at the Jazz offensively, they've been pretty terrible. Last 5 games, they're 19th in points scored per 100 possessions, turn the ball over at the second highest rate. They are second in offensive rebound rate, especially with Walker Kessler being back. But Dallas defensively has been pretty good. They're 14th in points allowed per 100 possessions. They have the 7th best effective field goal percentage for their opponents, holding them to under 53%. And they're giving up the 12th fewest rebounds. So you're going to need them to hit the boards in this game. The Jazz like to attack the rim, so you definitely need, a good effort from Daniel Gafford, from Derek Lively. The Jazz are putting a lot of pressure on the rim right now. Real quick. No, I'm sorry. That's not the Jazz. The Jazz, what are the Jazz doing? I feel like they're shooting I don't feel like they're shooting a bunch of threes. Because I'm going to get to what I like. I really like the team total under is what I was looking at. More of a field play than anything else, but I kind of feel like even if Dallas doesn't go out there and score the basketball, they can hold his Utah team down. Utah is shooting a ton of threes right now. They're actually 7th and above the break 3. 31.5% of their shots are coming from the 3-point line, above the break 3 specifically. They're shooting it pretty well. 4th in above the break 3 accuracy, shooting 42%. Overall, they're 14th in 3 frequency and 9th in 3 accuracy, shooting 39% over the last 5 games. Dallas, really good defending the 3-point shot. They're actually number 1 in all 3 frequency, holding teams to less than 32%, and 10th in all 3 accuracy as well, holding teams under 36% over the last 5 games. So I kind of want to get there with a Utah team total. I think it's a tad bit too high. I would need to check pace numbers though, but I kind of want to play team total under here. That was the one thing that kind of stood out to me because it's a tad bit too high for me. 113.5 is a lot of points for the Jazz to score against the Dallas team that, probably going to have a little bit of revenge on their mind here. Let's see what you guys are thinking before we wrap it up and do a quick recap. Derek says, what up, Frankie? Appreciate you for tapping in. He says, really like Najee and PJ Washington tonight without Luka. Merle says, PJ Washington over 10.5 rebounds and assists, or just over 7.5 rebounds here. He likes him to get 8. Derek says PJ Washington over 24.5 points, rebounds, and assists is cleared 4 of the 4 games without Luka, including in 1 game played versus Utah earlier this year as well with Luka when he was healthy. Okay. Merrill likes Najee Marshall over. Hold on. If Najee Marshall points 10.5, I think I'm going to have to invest in that. That number is a little bit too low. I didn't even look at it, if I'm being honest. I just knew I saw the numbers about how he had been cooking recently. Najee had been on fire. Let's go. Yeah, I was like, bro, no way it's 9.5. I don't know how you got 10.5. I see 16.5 everywhere, Merrill. Everywhere. Derek says PJ Washington double plus 260. 4 straight double-doubles without Luka. Double-double in the only game versus Utah earlier this season. Charles likes the quick revenge for, or at least stating that it's quick revenge for Dallas in this spot. We talked about it. Najee over his 16.5 point, Derek says. Yeah, I see 16.5 available. Looks like best numbers on FanDuel right now, only 4 cents a juice. Cleared in 4-4 without Luka. Second in shot attempts per game since Luka injury, averaging 15 shot attempts per game. Cleared this line in 1 of 2 games versus Utah this season. Okay. Derek Lively over 16.5 points and rebounds, Merrill says. I can see that. Sean says he got a -5.5, got it early. 77 Figure says give him the +7. Think it's a tad bit too many points for the Jazz to be catching that as a home dog here. And I'm not going to talk you off. Like I said, I'd be scared to lay 7. I tried to last time. We lost the game outright. We'll see what happens in this one. I just kind of feel like you need the Mavs to be motivated. Do we know the Mavs will be motivated? Probably not. We probably do not know that. Maybe because of how they lost the last one, but I can't bank on it. And the Jazz, if the Jazz were coming off a win as a home dog or something, I'd probably fade them. I can't do it here. with Kyrie running without Luka. I like the Mavs early with the short number. They came out quick and fast. Probably talking about the last game. 77 figures says Luka's being not a defensive guy is putting it mildly. Chris, yeah, I try not to kill people on the street, man. I try not to kill them. But Luka. I saw something pop up the other day on X. It said, please, can we get skinny Luka back? It said Luka was dunking on people back in the day, and then he got that contract and he done gained weight. Now he got hip problems, and not hip problems, but knee problems, and he's just always injured. Man, Luka need to be vegan, bro. What up to my guy Dream? Just caught a live stream. Shout out to the bro. Hit the like button. Appreciate you, Dream. Hope all is well with you, bro. Know you've been crushing it, especially when we getting these big slates. Dream probably putting all kind of blunt money bets in, man. Shout out to Dream in the chat. Merrill says Prize Picks had him at 10.5 last night. Okay. Shout out to Merrill on Prize Picks getting a 10.5 when this line should have been at least 15.5, up to 16 for Najee today. I like it. What up, Patrick? Can't lay 16 with the Bucks. Rose says I can't quite get there with 16 either. That's a lot. I know it's the Wizards. That's 16 is a lot, man. And what up, Chad? I appreciate you for tapping in. Know a couple people tapping in as we start to wrap up. Let's get into a quick recap, man. A couple things that I wrote down while we were talking, and I'll get into the my best bet for the slate today as well. Let's go. Let's go here. So, what did we talk about liking? We talked about liking. Is there anything that I need to add? So let's just go jump into the recap. Official play for me, best bet on the show, which best bets have been, you know what? I ain't even gonna say nothing. We know what the best bet's been doing if you've been tapped in. The Wizards team total under 107.5 is the best bet for the show today. Short list, I got Maxey on his points. Even with PG back, who cares? Maxey is in an advantageous matchup, advantageous spot, coming off a couple days rest, playing against a Pistons team on the second leg of a back-to-back. They were in Detroit before Detroit was, because I saw a clip of Jared McCain on the street going to get some food or something last night. So they should be, well rested, motivated. Maxey, no minutes limit. I think Maxey goes crazy in this game today. I think they have to have it. I think they absolutely have to have it today. The Atlanta game, I don't think I'm gonna touch. I need to see what happens with the guys today. I need to see what happens with LaMelo, see if any, Trey Mann gets upgraded. Remember, Atlanta also can, add to the injury report if they want to rest somebody because they're playing Charlotte, but I do lean under in that game. Not touching the side in the total for this Philly and Detroit game. Do like Maxey. I talked about Cade as well. I didn't add Cade here, but people mentioned it, so I'll put it on the short list. Not as one of my plays, but Cade. People like the 14.5 rebounds and assists, but like I said, the 8.5 assists for Cade have actually covered 10 straight times. So if you think Cade's in another advantageous matchup, take Cade to go up and over his assist prop or his rebounds and assists at 14.5. That was that game. Also Dame. I forgot Dame. Dame Dollar. You can get 6.5 assists. You can get 7.5 assists, depending on how you want to play it, whether you want to drink the juice or not. I like juice, especially if it's apple juice. So, remember, you only drink the juice if you lose the bet. So I do like Cade up and over his. Dame up and over his assist prop. I think it was like for minus 145. I think is what it was when I saw it earlier. Let me just see if that number is still available. I probably should have played this last night because it probably opened minus 125. But yeah, Dame's in a really good matchup. Yeah, it's up to 7.5 on every book now. So I'll actually take this 6.5 off because you can't get the 6.5 anymore. It's 7.5 everywhere, but you can get plus money, plus 120 right now. And I'm probably going to end up putting something on Cade to go up and a Dame to go up and over his 7.5 assists. I talked about him having double-digit assists in 4 of his last 5 games since returning from the injury. Trying to give y'all some player props as well. And then I guess Najee could go on the list at 15.5 or 16.5. I do like the Lively look as well. I think Lively should get busy in this game. So that's the show for today. Let's see what we got. What y'all popping off in the chat with? Brian likes Detroit early, first quarter for him. Hornets +3 for D-Mac, +3.5. Jazz +7. Tobias revenge game. Yeah. Over his points and rebounds and assists. Jay Wien says. Appreciate you, GLB bets. Let's see. Dream says Giannis triple-double. +850 on DraftKings. And Duran over his 1.5 assists are good looks. Duran on ESPN bet is what Dream says. Okay. 6.5 on Hard Rock. Underdogs for today. Warriors +2.5. Hornets money line if LaMelo plays. Jazz +7. D-Mac says. Okay. Appreciate you for tapping in, Justin, for sure. Derek says, appreciate the hard work as always, Chris. He likes PJ Washington double at +260. I think that's a nice value play. Michigan +6.5 first quarter against OSU. Who is that? Ohio State University? I'm guessing. -8.5 in the second half. And Sterling said he played Giannis to hit a three-pointer. Not sure what the props are there. Appreciate you for tapping in as well today, Brian. So yeah, best of luck, man. Only thing officially I played today was the Wizards up and over, under 107.5. Like I said, poor offensive rated team, the worst offensive rated team. And the Bucks having 3 days rest, they should be, pretty locked in here. I think the game also is played pretty slowly. So we'll see what happens, man. It's been profitable the last week and a half. I think we've actually made some profits. So hopefully we can keep that going. May add something more here. I really want to get a play in the Golden State game, but I need to see the injury report before we play that. So best of luck on whatever it is that you're playing today. Check the resources out if you guys are interested. I talked about jaXon at the beginning of the show. I told you guys what jaXon thought about the Atlanta and Charlotte game today. But you can check jaXon out for the college games as well, NFL games as well, whatever it is that you're liking. Money Baller on here as well, 50% off your first billing cycle using code ChrisBeCappinn with 2 P's, 2 N's, and the same thing for OddsJam. All the referral codes are in the description of the video for people that are interested in, trying to cap the games a little bit more efficiently and effectively. And get to the money, man. Get to the bag. Best of luck on all your action today, man. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Maybe same time, but definitely same place. Y'all enjoy your Saturdays, man. I'm out.